Welcome to Mindful with Minaa, where we explore how mindfulness can enhance your relationships and well-being. I'm your host, Minaa B, a licensed social worker, mental health educator, and author. Through insightful discussions, I will guide you towards self-awareness and self-efficacy, empowering you to effectively manage your relationships, reduce burnout, and be more present with yourself. So let's jump into today's episode. What's up, mindful community? Welcome back to another episode. And I want to tackle an issue that has become all too common in our fast-paced, always-on world, which is burnout. Burnout isn't just a buzzword. It's a serious condition recognized by the World Health Organization as an occupational phenomenon that results from chronic workplace stress that hasn't been successfully managed. And it's more widespread than ever. And so I wanted to talk about this because I'm sure a lot of people listening to this has experienced burnout at some point in your life, because I'm quite sure you have experienced burnout at some point in your life. And according to a 2021 study by the job search platform Indeed, a staggering 52% of workers reported feeling burned out, a significant increase from the 43% reported in their pre-pandemic survey. This data also revealed that millennials and Gen Z workers are particularly vulnerable, with 59% of millennials and 58% of Gen Z reporting burnout. So this isn't just a personal issue, it's a societal one impacting our productivity, health, and overall well-being. So what exactly is burnout? It's a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It often manifests as feeling overwhelmed, emotionally drained. You don't even have the ability to answer someone's phone calls. You're responding to people's text messages 5 days later. You're unable to meet constant demands. And the symptoms of burnout can be subtle at first. So you might experience things like irritability, fatigue, and a lack of motivation. But over time, these symptoms can escalate into more severe problems like chronic health conditions such as depression and a complete inability to function in your daily life, especially at the capacity that you're used to. So I do want to clarify, burnout is not a mental health disorder, but it is a mental health condition that can lead to mental health disorders like depression and anxiety the more you are experiencing burnout. And I think this is some fascinating data. The effects of burnout extend beyond the individual. A 2023 report from Gallup found that burnout cost the global economy an estimated $322 billion annually due to lost productivity, absenteeism, and high turnover rates. So clearly this is an issue that needs to be addressed on both personal and organizational levels. However, I know that sometimes we're fighting for systemic change and we're fighting for change on an organizational level, but I also think that it's important for us to have the tools that we need as people to tackle issues that are impacting us, while also simultaneously trying to advocate for ourselves and advocate for policy changes and advocate for our companies to do things differently to help us manage burnout. But also remember that even though I am talking about burnout from the context of the workplace, we can have other stressors in our lives that can lead to burnout. If you are not aware of this recent data, U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy has declared that parental stress is a significant public health issue. If you are a parent, I am sure you recognize that you have probably experienced some level of parental burnout, but it is not just a you problem. The issues in our American society related to childcare, related to our work responsibilities, related to so many things can be leading to parental burnout as well. So I just want you to remember that burnout is not just, I feel overwhelmed at work. You can be overwhelmed with not just being a parent. Maybe you're a caretaker to an elderly parent. Maybe you're a caretaker to an adult child that has a disability. Maybe you are a caretaker to your nieces or your nephews, or you have taken on certain responsibilities that you can't do on your own. So how do we tackle burnout? Now, with anything, it's always important to remember, especially when it comes to topics related to your mental health, there is no one-size-fits-all solution, but I am going to share some strategies with you, and you take what works for you and you leave the rest. First, I think it's important to always try to recognize the signs. The first step in tackling burnout is recognizing that it's happening. Some of us want to be productive so bad that we don't realize we're gliding through life with a 1% battery, not realizing that we need to be recharged. And the reason why we're constantly feeling overwhelmed, annoyed, and all of these difficult emotions, irritable, it's because you need a moment to recharge. Your battery is literally on 1%. And so if you're feeling exhausted, detached, or ineffective at work, ineffective in your relationship, in any other areas of your life, this could be a sign of burnout. So I want you to start acknowledging these feelings because it's crucial for you to take action and recognize, okay, if I am experiencing burnout, that means I have to do something differently. That is the number one solution to burnout. You are going to have to do something differently. Things cannot stay the same. So what is one of the first things you can start thinking of doing to tackle burnout? Set boundaries. You should already know that was going to come out of my mouth. You need to set boundaries. One of the leading causes of burnout is the lack of boundaries between work and personal life. But I also think it's the lack of boundaries between the relationships we have in our personal lives and the responsibilities we continuously take on. Gal Zoberman is a professor at the Wharton School of Business, and he coined this term, the yes damn effect. And what that basically means is as people, we take on too many responsibilities. And so when new things pop up on our plate, we're saying, yes, I can do this. Yes, I'll go to the brunch next weekend. Yes, I'll do overtime this week. Yes, I will, do that favor for you. Yes, I will run this errand. And then when it's time for us to do the thing that we said yes to, we're like, damn, why did I say yes to that thing? And I don't know about you, but I know I be saying damn a lot. And now I have a strict code. When I look at my calendar, I have already decided if I am seeing lines of red every week, which generally I do, I am being very mindful of what I say yes to. Because I know that I get easily overwhelmed because I have a lot of professional responsibilities. I also know that I do not have the social bandwidth to go to more than 2 outings per week. I also can't do it if they're back to back. So if somebody invites me to something and I look at my calendar and I already see Tuesday night, I'm having dinner with this friend. And then Thursday, I have to attend something that's social and it's going to require me to be around people and socialize and, engage with people and listen to people. Then that means, no, I can't take on any more for that week. I set boundaries with myself. And if that means I'm missing out, I miss out. This whole FOMO stuff that people have, you got to recognize some things are not for you to be a part of. So this fear of missing out, what are you afraid of? If you're not meant to be there, you're not meant to be there. You're meant to be where you are sometimes. My energy best serves me at home. So while y'all out at the little event and you're doing this thing, of course, I wish I could be there, but I'm not missing out on anything because I'm getting rest right now. I'm not missing out on anything because I am recharging my battery. I am at 1%. Now, if I were to go to that event, you would be getting Minaa at 1%. And I don't like Minaa when she is at 1%. I like Minaa maybe when she's on 60%. Because remember, you don't always have to be 100 wherever you go. It's important for you to figure out what is my optimal level of functioning. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being my best and 1 being my worst, what number do I recognize I thrive at? Because I don't always have to be a 10, but I know I do not want to be a 4. I want to aim to at least be a 6 or a 7. And if I could get to that number, I'm good. I'm good. And so you have to be mindful of the things that you are saying yes to. How many dams did you say this week? Because you're looking at your calendar like, damn, why did I add that to my calendar? Why did I say I would do this at work? Why? Ask yourself why though. What are you hoping to gain? And if you have this fear of missing out, then you have to recognize every time you make a choice to say yes to something, you're going to have to be ready to face the consequences to that. So if being the star player at work is what's more important to you than your mental health, then you have to recognize you are making a choice to sacrifice your mental health for the promotion. You are making a choice to sacrifice your mental health to be seen as a team player. You are sacrificing your mental health to be seen as whatever it is you're trying to be seen as. We can't control people. And so sometimes we have to take responsibility for the choices that we're making and own that there are certain things that we value more than our own mental health. And when you can be truthful with yourself, you'll be able to start making new changes. Another thing that we have to do to take care of our burnout is to prioritize both self-care and community care. Now, when I say self-care, I am not talking about bubble baths and spa days and getting your nails done. I don't know about you, but I cannot stand going to the nail salon. First of all, this is why I switched years ago to press on nails. So the only time you are going to catch me in a nail salon is to get a pedicure. And I'm always like, please give me the regular pedicure. I do not want to be here for hours. Make it quick. There is nothing soothing, honestly, for me to get my nails done. It's just not soothing. It is not something that is bringing me joy. It is just an act of maintenance, and then I go about my day. So when I talk about self-care, I am talking about engaging in things that are self-nourishing, nourishing to your physical health, mental health, and emotional health, even your spiritual health. So this could mean, one, getting enough sleep. I think a lot of us devalue sleep, but sleep is so important for your mental health. Eating nutritious meals. I'm going to be listing a lot of the stuff that a lot of people don't realize is so essential. What you eat plays a role in the health and care of your body. Exercise. If you don't have a gym membership, when was the last time you went for a walk? Do you own a bike? Are there little things that you can do that will still be a form of movement? I think right now, one of the best things that we can start doing for ourselves is learning to start new hobbies. Make time for hobbies and activities that bring you joy. Recently, I went to like a pottery making class. I guess it probably wasn't even a class, but it was one of those stores where you go in and you can pick a piece of pottery that is already made. And all you have to do is paint it. And when you're done painting it, the shop owner or the people who work at the shop will add some sort of coating to it to make sure that the paint doesn't chip off. And it was so relaxing. It was so soothing. I did it with a friend. It was also very fun and exciting. And the next thing I told myself I want to do is I actually want to make pottery. So I have a whole bucket list of things that I am going to be doing because I do believe that we have to cultivate joy. We can't wait for joy to fall in our laps. We have to be proactive with life. And so if you don't have a hobby, find one, figure it out. You need to just be open to doing new things. And by doing those new things, you will see what brings you joy and what you don't like. Self-care is essential for replenishing your energy and maintaining your well-being. Your life cannot just be, I get up, I go to work, then I eat, then I go to sleep. That can't just be your life because you're probably not going to feel fulfilled by it. If you are a parent and you're dealing with parental stress, these things are also applicable. But this also means that you need community. And this is going to shift me to community care. We need people. We can't do life alone. And even though I said if you are a parent, apply this to your life even if you are a caregiver. Because you don't have to have a kid to be tired. You don't have to have a kid to be a caretaker. So there are times where we have to recognize, where's our community support? Do I need to hire a babysitter? Do I need to check in with my friends more and be more vocal and honest and say, guys, I am suffering. I need support. Maybe I need physical support where I need a helping hand. Can someone babysit? Can someone come over and just help me? Can we do things where the kids are involved? I have to caretake for a parent. Can we do things around a particular schedule? Because during X hours, I'm busy caretaking. We need community in order to nourish our well-being. We are not called to do life alone. So tackling burnout also means leaning on other people, people that you feel safe with, people who can help regulate your nervous system. Because ultimately, burnout is when our nervous system is in shock, and it is when our nervous system is in a state of distress. And sometimes it's prolonged distress. And the benefits of co-regulating can be powerful for our mental health and our well-being. Now, the last thing I'm going to share is sometimes when you're experiencing burnout, it can be so chronic, you are starting to experience a mental health disorder. So if you're noticing you are feeling chronically depressed, you're feeling hopeless, you are struggling to get out of bed, you're struggling to do certain daily activities, or maybe you're struggling with high functioning depression where you keep busy and you keep saying yes to everything and you keep taking on more and more and more because you feel so uncomfortable sitting with yourself that when you're not doing things and you have downtime, that is the most depressed you ever are. And so you're coping by just doing a lot of things, by staying productive. And so that might mean you need extra support, which means you might need to talk to a therapist. So I really encourage you to also use discernment and be mindful, as I always say, to know when you need an extra layer of support. Your friends cannot be everything to you. Your friends also are not trained mental health professionals. And even if they are not your therapist. So be mindful and recognize when you need to call in professional help. So as I wrap up today's episode, I want to emphasize that tackling burnout isn't about just pushing through or trying to be more productive. It's about recognizing your limits, prioritizing your well-being, and making changes that support a healthier, more sustainable way of living. Remember the phrase, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself first. If you are moving through life with 1%, you got to ask yourself, what do I need to recharge to get to my optimal level of functioning? But also, what is your optimal level of functioning? Because we both know it's not 1%, but maybe it's 50%. Maybe it's 60%. And if it's 100, you have to ask yourself, how are you going to get there? So thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, as always, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave a review as well as a comment if you're listening on Spotify. I would love to hear your thoughts on how you are learning to manage burnout. So feel free to connect with me on social media. Make sure you visit my website, MinaaB.com, for more resources and to sign up for my newsletter, Mindful with Minaa. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you just listened to, please take a moment to rate and review this podcast on your preferred platform. Also, don't forget to share it with a friend and on social media. To stay connected with me and my work, follow me on social media and subscribe to the Mindful with Minaa newsletter, which can be found on my website, www.minaab.com. You can also continue learning from me by ordering my book, Owning Our Struggles, which is available at all major book retailers. Stay tuned for a new episode next week, and most importantly, remember to be present and stay mindful. Take care, and goodbye for now.